we are live also in Facebook, which is great. We have a bachelor degree attendee, Gergana Toteva. Hello, Gergana. Nice to meet you. Any other brave do we have to share?
You can share with us how many of you are interested in bachelor degree and how many in master degree. Това е въпрос към публиката. Ако искате, можете да отбележите от какви ни програми се интересувате, дали бакалавърски или магистърски.
As well as starting year also. We have 22 attendees till now, but we have a few more minutes to start before the start.
Много бързо се присъединяват и други хора към нас.
Bachelor degree in architecture from Mehriban. Hello, Mehriban, again. I saw you yesterday also. Thank you for your support. Hello, Konstantin Stamenov. Again, bachelor in architecture, starting next year. Great.
Благодаря, че сте толкова активни. Продължавайте да пишете. Нека да поддържаме контакт и да знаем какво ви интересува.
Тогава и аз да се включа и да кажа, че тази година имаме първите двама студенти, вече приети официално. Един за бакалавър по архитектура и още един за мода с пълна стипендия, така че...
Това е прекрасно. Сега да ви ориентирам отново как ще протече презентацията, както предните от днес и от вчерашния ден. Можете да пишете тези, които са се присъединили към събитието през Zoom, могат да задават своите въпроси в чат секцията, която се намира отново в дъното на екрана. Долу по средата кликате на чат и започвате да си общувате с нас. За тези, които са с нас през Facebook, можете да оставяте коментар под нашето видео. Ние много ви харесваме, така че харесайте ни ви. Презентацията ще трае около 30 минутки, след което ще имаме Q&A сесия отново. По времето на която вие можете да задавате отново въпроси, да вдигате ръка да зададете въпроса с микрофон, също е опция за нас, ако сте по-смели. Доктор Виторио Дебатиста ще сподели линк към своя график, откъдето можете да си направите лична среща с него, така наречените one-on-one meetings. Така че ще можете да се възползвате от тази опция. Естествено, консултантите на Skylines също ще бъдат до вас през цялото време. Ако ви хрумне допълнителен въпрос, който не сте успели да зададете сега, можете да се възползвате, да ни го зададете, да ни пишете във Facebook, на имейл, да ни се обадите по телефон. Ние не спим. Винаги сме на линия.
So I think we can start. Vittorio, you can go ahead with your presentation. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Just a second, Vittorio, just a second. And now you're the boss.
You're the boss now.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your hospitality above all and for the support we have from you. We've had for you so far, and we look forward to work with you in the future, supporting your students. So I'll be giving a presentation about who we are, what we are doing at our university, and I'm using, you will see here, some words we generally use to describe ourselves. We are a public university. We are an international university, as you can see from the picture. We are based right into the historical city of Venice, which is very nice because Venice is nice, we all know that, but above all because it's a very stimulating city for our students because it hosts a lot of important events, Biennale d'Arte, Biennale of Architecture, Festival del Cinema. So a lot of very, very interesting events where the students can be involved and can really get the sense and really enjoy the spirit of this wonderful city. So I will be talking about the importance of being a public university, about our major achievements in terms of international relations, and we are in detail. Our university is more than 90 years old because it's actually the second oldest school of architecture in Italy after Università La Sapienza in Rome, so very, very long tradition in the field of architecture. But starting in the year 2000, we also opened to the other fields of the project. We say it's a theme university dedicated not only at this point to architecture, but also urban planning, industrial design, fashion design, visual arts, and theater. So a wide range of subjects that you can have in our university that you can study through our bachelor and master degrees. What we practically offer, we offer architecture, as I said, we offer design. We're going to go a little bit deeper into this in the next few slides, but we offer architecture, design, urban planning, visual arts, fashion design, and theater. When it comes to architecture and urban planning, it's important to say that both our bachelor's and master degrees also allows you after your graduation to license, to do the licensing exam, which gives you the title for an architect, for architecture clearly as an architect, a junior architect with a bachelor degree. For planning, you will be a planner or a junior planner with a bachelor degree in planning. So this is important to know because not only we offer, of course, degrees, but we also have the possibility in our university to do after the graduation the licensing exam, which is generally recognized not only in Italy, but generally in Europe and in a lot of countries throughout the world. So it's a title which is often recognized internationally. This is important to know. Our wide range of subjects we teach give the students the possibility of somehow choosing themselves what the path is going to be. We always say that we tend not to specialize students, so we don't teach the students to do just one thing, but we prefer to professionalize you so that if you study any of our subjects, you will be able, through your career, through your bachelor's and master, with the support of our professor, to find a specific somehow topic or field you want to deepen within your career as an architect, as a planner, as a designer, as a fashion designer, or a visual artist. So this is a wide range. We have done a slide with a wide range of professions and jobs that our students are currently doing to tell you that you have so many opportunities with the degree, in any of our degrees, architecture, design, fashion, visual arts, or planning. And this gives us also an important number I will be giving you as we go through the presentation in terms of employment rate. This is important to know. I will be giving you some of the last official numbers about the employment rate of our students, which is very high. It's very significant to share. So our system is based on the Italian and European system. So we have bachelor degrees, laurea triennali, which last for 3 years, laurea magistrali, which are master degrees for 2 years, and then if you're not, if you're not tired of studying yet, you can also do a PhD, which is a research sort of degree that you can do after a master's for 3 more years. So you have a very complete kind of education. Every bachelor has the possibility of continuing to a master's all the way to the PhD. At the bachelor level, meanwhile, I always point out the images I'm showing you. You'll see images that are taken in our studios, in our classes. So you see that the university has a very, very interesting way of working. It's very practical. Also, we like to design. Our rector always says that it's the university where you get your hands dirty. You see the students are building models, are building prototypes. It's a very creative kind of environment where you will be not only imagining, creating, but you will be building things. It's very, very interesting. And that's part of our teaching method, to get our hands dirty into building the projects. At the bachelor degree level, we have currently six degrees: architecture, Industrial design offers 2 tracks that you can choose: interior design or product and visual design. Interior design, you will see it later, the difference between one and the other. Fashion design and multimedia offers 3 tracks: visual arts, arti multimediali; fashion design, design della moda; and communication and new medias for fashion. This last one is the most recent course we started. And last but not least, urbanistica pianificazione del territorio, which means urban planning. All the bachelor degrees, as we saw, are 3 years. The bachelor degrees are mainly in Italian, formally in Italian, and but on the other hand, we are not requiring any specific certification for this. We think it's appropriate for a student to have a basic Italian. On the other hand, we have students coming from all over the world, even from the bachelors, maybe sometimes with a not very high level of Italian language. As I said, we suggest students to get some knowledge of Italian, which can be useful. At the same time, our university is not only theoretical, as I said, but it's also very practical. So you will be building things, you will be making practical things, so you will have also the chance to improve your language. At the same time, a couple of years we have started to offer freely to our first year students for the bachelor's and master's eventually a course of Italian language as a part of our opportunities that we give to international students. So this is the bachelor. All the bachelor degrees have a selection test. A selection test for architecture, and specifically is a national test for all architecture schools. All the tests generally take place just to give you an idea, the first week of September. Architecture offers 300 and generally 300 every year, changes based on the numbers of the Ministry of Education. 350 places, seats available. 10 of them are reserved to extra European citizens. What I was saying before is that we get our hands dirty. You see here how students are building models. The picture on the right is important because it's one of the pictures where we hosted, actually the person in the center is Mario Botta, one of the leading, what we call the Archistars. Important architects at the worldwide level. Mario Botta is also a graduate of our school, of our university, and he came to do the final critiques, the final reviews of the project. This is very important because we work a lot with important international architects. Recently we had Mario Botta, as you see here, we had Alvaro Siza. Some of the leading architects are very close friends of our School of Architecture, of our university. The same for the other fields. We work a lot with professionals. It's important for us to have the students have a very straight and immediate relation with the professors and with professionals. So this is the very sort of laboratorio, lab kind of experience that you're going to have in the university. Fashion design is also a 3-year bachelor degree, Design della Moda, with selection test. The numbers here, you will see from now on that the numbers are lower because those numbers from now on are given by our university. It's our choice to have lower numbers, just because we want you to have face-to-face approach and relation with the professor. Like you see here in the pictures, it means that you will be working with them on prototyping. You will be having daily reviews of your projects, of your different studio activities with them. And what's important to say that here what we do now in this course is also but all our courses, to bring you from the project, which means from the idea all the way to being able to present it. You see here a picture of the final fashion show, which is completely put together by our students. So the students not only learn how to make clothing, how to make accessories, how to make a bag, everything that deals with fashion, but also to be a curator of an event, all the way to being an expert of editorial fashion. So to be able to write on a magazine, or to be able to be a curator of an online, for example, website, or curatorship regarding fashion. And you see that the spaces are basically like atelier. You will be working in an atelier. You don't have to imagine when you study with us a boring university with a lot of seats and someone writing on the blackboard and you're taking notes, but something very, very active, a very kind of atelier kind of place. And the pictures are here to prove that. We also offer interior design. The interior design is part of the design track. Design deals mainly with the design of interior spaces, which is based on our everyday life experience. It's one of the most recent courses we've started, but we have started this because there is a strong request by the companies for this kind of profession. You see some of the activities of the students. You see on the other end, the other course, product and visual design, deals mainly with the design of physical elements of design, which can be something we see every day. You see a prototype of a small machine. On the other hand, product deals with the practical things, like something that we can touch. Visual design deals with the graphic design. So the two aspects of design. We work a lot with companies. This is important for us. And you see that the students here are visiting one of the companies making furnitures. We work a lot with, we want the students to see how things get done. So we work with companies. All the courses, and I will be saying it later too, but require an internship in a company or in a studio, which is mandatory. It's part of your program. And you will be able to choose between almost 4,000 different options for this kind of internship. And on the right, you see another project we did together with some glass making companies. Our region is one of the important aspects of the economy of this region, is based on the companies that make glasses. Luxottica is the most famous probably company, which bought also Ray-Ban, so some of the most important companies making glasses. This competition was asking the student to go from the idea, from the design of the glass, all the way to prototyping and making the final product. So this is one of the projects you will be finding if you choose a course in product and visual design. This would be an example of an interesting project to work with. Visual arts, arte multimediali, is another course that deals with multimedias. Multimedias, as I said, we never specialize you, we professionalize you. So if you choose visual arts, it means that you will be doing filmmaking, video making, but also curatorship of events. It can be, for example, the Biennale of Art or any kind of event that deals with, you see here from some of the picture, 3D imaging, but also photography, script writing. So it's going to be a 360 degrees approach to the arts. It's, you see here some of the projects that recently were done, incubated by the students. What we point out is that our university in the fields of design, fashion, and visual arts is currently ranking first at the national level. You see the chart here. This is by Censis, it's a national agency doing the rankings for universities and other government agencies. And you see that our university, in terms of design, fashion, and visual arts, is at the first level nationally for the punteggio generale, means the general quality of education of the courses we offer. At the same time, we are first for international relations at the national level. So it's a very, very important achievement that I want to share with you to give you a sense of what we do and how important our university is getting into the national. And is already, but it's getting even more important at the national level in Italy. Last but not least, the course, the bachelor degree in urban planning. This is the only course currently that does not require a selection through a test. So it's open access and you don't need to go through a test. And some images here again to see how the students always work face to face with the professors. Having a bachelor and then a master in a university like ours, which is mainly dedicated to the project, different fields of the project, gives you the possibility of continuing, as I said. If you study fashion, you can continue. If you study with the bachelor in fashion, you can continue with the master's in fashion. At the same time, you are also free, just with some limitation. The only real limitation is architecture. You can access architecture only with studies in architecture, like you see here with the. At the same time, if you do a bachelor in any other bachelor, fashion, visual arts, or design, you can also decide to continue with a different field. It could be, if you study fashion, you can do a bachelor or master degree in visual arts. You are very free to move. This is also important to know, that you are not stuck in a sort of one-way track, but you have the possibility of eventually considering some other option within our university, and we will be supporting you eventually, we and our tutors, in considering those choices in the future. The admission procedures, but you have on your side, you have Skylines, which is a great partner with us, so they will be your best support for this. And if you consider application to our university, you can use them as a great support for anything that deals with the procedures as you decide to join. But there is a procedure which is dedicated. Everything gets done. Starting this year, everything was done mainly was done online. The procedure is from one side the procedure that is required to Italian and European citizens, but also extra European citizens that are living in Italy. On the other end, there is a different procedure for non-European students that are residents in a foreign country. But this is a procedure we will be supporting you through Skylines. Don't worry about that. There is a pre-enrollment. The pre-enrollment is generally this year it started in the middle of June, except for the master degree program in architecture. The master degree program in architecture, we'll see it later, is the English top master degree that is open generally the very beginning of February. All the other courses, the pre-enrollment is open on the basically half of June. Then there is the admission test, except for urban planning, as we said. The admission test takes place the first week of September. Then you will be, if you pass the test, the matriculation, the registration, and the courses begin the first week of October, just to give a sense of our calendar. The test for architecture this year was done online for all the students, which was very helpful, especially for international students. We do a preparation course, free preparation course online. This year was also online to the test, the multiple choice test for architecture, which is also useful for the other tests for design, fashion, and visual arts. That gets done generally in July. So you will keep in touch with us eventually if you're interested about that. When it comes to design, fashion, and visual arts, the test is not only multiple choice. We have a multiple choice part of the test, but then we also added a graphic test, which is a selection to a simple A3-page kind of drawing, where we try to give you a topic to work on. We are not selecting, we're not the Academy of Fine Arts. We're not using the graphic test prove your capacity, your ability with drawing, but it's a way to see how you approach to a simple, very simple topic that we can give. The third part of the test is an individual interview, which is important for us to get to know you. The idea is to ask you basically why have you chosen this course? What's the reason for you to choose this course? What do you know about fashion? But it's not an interrogation, it's the way to know you. It's a sort of motivational kind of selection that we do in our courses. After an undergraduate degree, as I said, you always have the possibility of continuing with the master's degree. All the bachelors have a corresponding master. As I was mentioning, we started a couple of years ago a new program in architecture, the master degree program in architecture. We have one in Italian. At the same time, we started to offer one, the master degree program in architecture, fully taught in English. So you have two options on that side. At the same time, pianificazione e politiche per l'ambiente e nuove tecnologie per la pianificazione, which is urban planning, basically simplified. It's also practically mainly in English. All the other courses are mainly in Italian, but as I said, the practical approach to the project that we have and the important international presence we have in all the courses makes our university very easy for the students to adapt. International students are very easily adapting to the context of our university and to the context of the city of Venice itself. So you have a wide range of options. Not only for bachelor's and master's, but you have postgraduate specialization courses eventually after your bachelor's or after your master's. You have a school of specialization in architectural restoration, and you also have eventually, as I said, the possibility of continuing to a PhD. So you have a very wide range of opportunities that you have that you can choose. I was mentioning one of the important elements, one of the three words which he chose to describe our university is internationalization, which means that we are first at the national level between all the schools. We are together with in the same ranking of the Polytechnici, so the Polytechnics are universities, so the leading schools of architecture and design, Politecnico di Milano, Politecnico di Torino, and Politecnico di Bari, and our university is the first among them in terms of international relations. This means that during your studies, you also have the possibility of doing 1 semester or 2 semester period of studies or an internship abroad. The internships and the study programs go under the Erasmus Plus program, but also when you join a master, not only Erasmus, but after with the master degree programs, you will be able to join also extra European programs. So you can go from South America, North America, all the way to Asia and Australia. So you have basically all the continents covered by those programs. And there are great opportunities that we give the students because, first of all, if you go 1 semester, 2 semesters, so you go to do an internship in a company, everything is going to be recognized when you come back into your career. You will never miss 1 semester, you will never miss your graduation for that because they are part of your program. So our professors are going to be supporting you in choosing where you're going to go, what you're going to do. You will find a tutor which will support you on the other side. When you come back, all the activities that you have done abroad will be recognized right into your career. So it's a great opportunity. And those experiences, those activities are always, if you go under an Erasmus Plus program or under an extra European program of mobility, they're always covered by a scholarship, a monthly grant, and some other opportunities of financial support. So that's great to know. As I said, you will be finding a lot of international students in our university. Our university is not too big. We have 4,700 students, so it's not as big as other Italian major universities. So this gives you the possibility of having a more close relation to all the students. We have an average of 315 incoming and visiting students every year, and a significant, or almost 10%, population of international students. And as I said, this gives us an important position, the first position at the national level between all the schools of architecture, design and planning, the leading schools of architecture, design and planning, which are the Polytechnici. We are first in terms of international relations. We have an important position in the international rankings like the QS ranking, in the 50 and 100 most important universities of architecture and art and design. We have more than 130 agreements for Erasmus Plus, so for studies within the European Union, and more than 60 agreements throughout the world that you can use for studying for 1-2 semesters abroad. So it's a great opportunity that we give to our students. We have also started a bridge-year program with the Università Ca' Foscari, which is the other university here in Venice. We started this partnership especially for Students may need to get more knowledge of Italian language or some specific topics regarding architecture, planning, and design. And this is also an opportunity we eventually offer to students that don't feel very comfortable with the language or with starting immediately a career in the bachelor or master degree program. We also offer, we have started very important partnership worldwide when it comes to double degrees. Double degree is an opportunity that we give to students registered in our masters that have the possibility of joining this kind of program through an internal selection of the university. And if you are selected, you will be doing a double degree, which means that you will be studying for a period in our university, for another period, generally 2 and 2 semesters, depending on the agreement, but you will be studying in another universities where you will get, at the end, you will do a final thesis with both a tutor professor on our side and on the other side. And this will give you a double degree, which means that you will be graduating both with a degree by Università IUAV and degree by the partner university. Great opportunity for getting to know the profession of an architect, a designer in the international level. And you see here we have currently 4 universities in South America, 1 in the Republic of China, Tongji University, which is a very, very important university in China. I was mentioning this before. It's mandatory in all the courses that we offer, either masters or bachelors, to do an internship also, which means a period of work in a company, in an agency, in architectural design studio. We already have more than 4,000 agreements which are already set. So you can choose one of those, but you can also choose any other company which is appropriate according to the requirements of the university, and it can be under your home, just to give you an idea, or in London, wherever you want, even abroad. But if you choose a company or an agency which is not already a partner with us, so even for one student, we are going to do the agreement. So we're going to help you with that, and we're going to let you do it basically wherever you want, if this is suitable with the requirements of the university. So our job is to give you training, to give you information, but of course, it's also to help you to get into the finding of a job that suits you. And this gives us an important employment rate. This is a national survey by Alma Laurea. Alma Laurea is an agency that does surveys for the universities, and so it's an independent agency that does the surveys for the university, that gave us an important employment rate. This is the information about the employment rate within 1 year after graduation, where our university, our graduates have been actually having a higher employment rate. You see a 76.9%, which is actually higher than the national rate, which is lower, 71.7%. So it's great information and something very important to know. And 95% of our students are employed within 5 years after graduation. So it's a very, very important number. When it comes to benefits and scholarships, we have a lot of options. This is good to know, especially for international students. The normal conditions are basically, just to give you an idea, the total tuition for 1 year is 2,779 euros. And this applies to any kind of student. There is no difference between national or international. So this is the maximum tuition for any kind of students. If you are an international student, you actually have more benefits than Italian students. I never say this to the Italian students, but I tell you because it's important for you to know. All the students have, first of all, the possibility of having income-based benefits. So you can reduce the taxation and have eventually benefits based on the income of your family with a certified accreditation of your family income. There is an agency that does that. You can do it within the middle of October if you're registered as a student. So That's something you can do in any case, and that applies to all the students. But as an international student, you will be also having the possibility of applying to our special program. It's called Study at IUAV. Study at IUAV is a special scholarship program dedicated only to international students. And this is important because Study at IUAV offers both scholarships and tuition fee waivers. This year we offer 10 scholarships of 5,000 euros or 30 tuition fee waivers. Tuition fee waivers means you're not going to be paying taxes, you will only be paying 180 euros of original taxation, but you will not be paying the full tuition. This is important. At the same time, if you do reduction of taxes based on the income, you will be having eventually tax reduction. Eventually, if you are at certain levels of income, you will be having scholarship. You will eventually have the possibility of doing collaborazione studentesca, is an internship within the university, a paid internship within the universities, and other opportunities. We also offer housing. We are not offering it directly ourselves, but we offer it through ESO Venezia. ESO Venezia is a regional agency, a public agency like we are, so they manage independently selection, which is open also in the summer, basically at the same time with the application to our university. Through their website, you will be able to apply to their benefits, especially housing. They offer housing both in student housing facilities or apartment, which are basically brand new apartment, very nice facilities that they have throughout the city of Venice. At the same time, they manage the mensa, the cafeterias, the canteens, where you will be able to have food, and the same there with based on your income. Just to give you an idea, the fee for an average meal for a full meal, the average fee can be between 3 and 5 euros, which is a very, very convenient price for a full meal. So it's a great opportunity too. We have a library. I'm talking about the library because it's not a boring library when you get bored. It's actually one of the most important libraries in Europe in the fields of architecture, urban planning, and the arts. It's a great space. On a normal situation, when the situation will be back to normal, it's going to be open up to midnight. So you will be joining your students, your classmates, and your friends in studying there. You have a great possibility of choosing between 200,000 books. So you have a great library, which is a great place to study and to join your friends there. I think we went through all the most important informations. I was mentioning in the beginning that we are a public university. This means, well, I didn't say this in the beginning, but all our degrees are full degrees, are not diplomas, are not certification, but they're full degrees under the Italian academic system. This makes them recognizable not only in Europe, but generally in all the countries, basically many of the countries of the world. So you're going to be covered by a full degree, which is going to be recognized. As I said, you will be eventually having the possibility of accessing to licensing if you choose architecture or planning as a field of studies. As an international student, you will be having all the benefits that are available to international students, some of all the Study at IUAV scholarship program, which is a very, very great opportunity that we give. These are our contacts, but we invite you to use Skylines for any information because they know us, keep in touch with them. So it's the best way to get in contact with us is through them. They're great support as you think about joining our courses, and they will be a great support if you plan on joining through the entire application process. So at this point, I thank you for your attention. I'm going to give the floor to Skylines. I think we have questions or
Vittorio, do you have a Calendly link to share if somebody wants to book an appointment with you, maybe?
I don't have it with me, unfortunately.
It's okay.
But I think they can eventually talk to you.
Of course. Ако някой има въпроси, може да ги зададе в чата или да използва микрофон и да го зададе. Ако се притесняват да го направи на английски, може на български и аз ще го преведа за Виторио. There is one question, Vittorio, if there are bachelor courses in English or only in Italian?
Currently not, they're not in English, they're mainly in Italian. As I said, there are two aspects to know. Some of the studios and design studios may have a part in English. As I said, we require, in any case, a minimum level of Italian. We're not formally requiring a certification, so we will not be excluding anyone on this. Italian is useful, as you guess, especially because you will be living here. It's also good to get to know the students. On the other end, we don't discourage students with low level of Italian. We are not discouraging them from applying, so don't worry about this. If you can get some practice of Italian by then, it's going to be helpful. We have started to offer in the last couple of years a course of Italian to all the international students, which is available for free to all the registered international students. On the other end, as I said, we are very practical. So on the other end, we will be showing practically what you're doing with the professors in the project, through drawings, through 3D models, through prototypes. So the language is important. At the same time, we'll be able to get to practice that when you're here.
Петя, имаме ли други въпроси към Виторио?
Все още няма други въпроси. Аз ще поставя линк към следващата презентация всъщност, която ще започне в 2:30.
Това всъщност е презентацията, която ще направи Петя в компанията на Андрея Поци от ID. След мъничко ще сложим линк, чрез който директно да се присъедините към срещата.
Както и Виторио каза, ако имате някакви въпроси след тази презентация, ако имате желание да кандидатствате за IUAV, без никакви колебания, свържете се с нас, ще дадем информация както за кандидат-студентския процес, така и за всички възможности за стипендии, намаляване на таксите за обучение. И ще се радваме да съдействаме с каквото можем. Както казах и в началото, вече имаме и първите двама успешно записани студента. Един в програма за мода, другия за архитектура. Така че имаме вече и готовност за по-детайлна информация от кандидат-студентския процес с всичките изпити, които се провеждат и във връзка с ситуацията тази година, промените, които COVID наложи за провеждане на изпита, така че ще се радваме да споделим опита си с вас. Може да се свържете с нас по имейл или на телефоните в офиса. Сме на разположение.
Ако това е всичко, можем да приключваме след мъничко. Даваме възможност да се присъедините към следващата презентация чрез линка. Vittorio, once again, thank you very much for your presentation. It was a pleasure to have you on our
time. Let's keep in touch and
of course. Okay, guys, we are ready to leave the meeting and say bye-bye to the audience.
Bye.
Bye.